Who scored his 28th goal for City this season.
See? BBC love me, man. They love me. They call me. Mwah! They know I'm making it, man. I'm going to win the league. Mwah! Guys, mwah! See you at the terrace, guys. Oh, hey! Let me do a little dance. I'll see you at La. Hey! A little dance, bro. You see this? I have to play like this. We when Santos used to win the league. Hey! They give me a call, man.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are back and we're back on yet another stream, my lovely, incredible people. Big up to all of you guys. We're here to talk about Liverpool Football Club. It's the Friday night Liverpool show. One of your guys' favorite shows, as always. Of course, we just watched Man United drop points away at Bournemouth. So this opens up as well the top four race. You get me? Hopefully they can drop points more and more again. Big up to you incredible people in the chat. We already got 100 people in the building. We haven't even started the stream yet. So please hit the like button, subscribe. All the links are in the description for people who are here and people who aren't even here. So go subscribe to everyone's channel. You get me? And I appreciate and love every single one of you. I'm going to be talking about Galatasaray. We're going to be talking about, the upcoming Bournemouth game. And we're going to be talking just Liverpool general related topics. So let me start with Dean. Big up, Dean. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're great, my brother. Talk to me about that Galatasaray win and how you feel, after watching probably the best performance of the season for Liverpool.
Well, I could just be a fan. See me, I can separate myself from the season, the manager, and just concentrate on this game. And this is what I've been screaming for all season. Obviously, the first half, we had control. We should have put them to the sword in the first half because they were Galatasaray was there for the taking in the first half. Now, if they were a better team, we could be ruin our chances we missed. Second half, I loved it. The intensity. I see my team making tackles. I see us winning second balls. I see us being more expensive. I see us fighting. And all the things we've been asking for all season, I saw it in that game. I'm happy with that performance. I'm happy with every single person in that game. First half, I can't lie. If it was down to me, Salah wouldn't have got out in the second half. But I'm so happy it's not up to me because second half, he made up for it and done his thing. I can't lie. But you know what? Every one of them players, every single one of them, like they put a performance in. All right, it's Galatasaray. We should beat them anyway. But listen, we've had a bad season, and listen, I'm at a stage where I've got to take what I can get, and I'm just happy that I was able to see us put a bit of heart in. I've cussed McAllister all season. Like, I see him putting tackles. I see him doing stuff. You get me? I see Gravy. I saw Gravenberch second half. Gravenberch was unbelievable second half. Yeah, I see Ekatike. I was cussing him. He scored a goal. Verts popping up everywhere. Frimpong right back. Kirkes. We got a shout at Kirkes. Kirkes I thought was amazing. I don't know watch long, and I couldn't stop praising Kirkes getting stuck in. Like every Virgil, Kanate, rocks at the back. We've been asking for this all season. I'm happy. Listen, people can have a go at me for being happy, but I'm a fan. So when I see performances like that, I'm going to be happy. So, yeah, bruv, big up Liverpool, and let's see where we go from this. Now, if we can continue this, let's see how far we can go this season, man, because you know what? Yeah, man, we won. We scored some goals. So, yeah, man, I'm happy.
Guys?
So, that game, it kind of bamboozled me because we all sit there and we watch Liverpool this season, and you come to a conclusion: where the hell did that come from? Like, why haven't we seen this all season? So I did a bit of a madness, and I asked Claude, which is the AI tool, a couple of questions, like, why have Liverpool been poor? What is the reason for us losing games? And it couldn't give me a real answer. So then I had to kind of ask the questions that everybody else has been asking. Like why haven't we played this team before? Like these players before? Why haven't we started these players before? And then you kind of come to a conclusion that and this is weird, by the way, but this is real. Every single game this season that Florian Wirtz and Curtis Jones has not played, we lost. So we lost 8 games this season that Wirtz and Jones didn't play in for either the manager not picking Jones, the manager not picking Wirtz, or Wirtz was injured because Jones has been pretty much fit the whole season. And then you also have to look at it. So what is it? What's the nucleus of Liverpool which has been making us win games? Well, I had a look at 4 players in general. So I had a look at Wirtz and Jones, for example. Well, 85% of all games we win with them in the team. And you're talking like 23 games that they played in that we've won or drawn. So the connection is there with those two. So then you spread it out and you go, okay, then, well, what about Ekitike? What about Kerkez? What about Wirtz? What about Salah? What about Szoboszlai? We've never lost a game when all 6 have started. We've never lost a game when all 5 have started. And you start to look at the real reason why Liverpool haven't performed this season, and it's through team selection. Like, it's not the team, it's the selection of the team. And if you've got your best players available, you pick them. And then if your team perform with those best players in it, why don't you carry on picking them? And that's the biggest issue. And that Galatasaray game, he picked the best team. And then he also subbed out Frimpong and brought in Curtis Jones. And he'd done that in the 65th minute. And that's when Liverpool started rolling on and started dominating the game. And that's when we scored more. And we can do that against PSG, by the way. We can do that against Brighton. We can do that against anybody. But he has to select the guys that are going to win him the games.
I'm sorry, K-Mac. Look, usually, I have to speak. Usually in the beginning, I like let all the panelists speak and stuff, but I'm going to have to butt in here. And this includes what K-Mac is saying and what Dean is saying and the super chats as well. Because he says, I don't like slot, but you're telling me this whole time the players had the skill to run and press like this, but said not to, and Salah haters hold that. Let me just say something, yeah? I'm going to use Fam Zone as the example. Fam Zone have a popular show. It's called Trench Talks. It works. They keep doing Trench Talks. People are subscribing. People are watching the channel. On a Friday, they suddenly wake up and go like, we're not going to do Trench Talks anymore. We're going to do FIFA streams instead. They get 10% of the viewers that they usually get. The week after, they try to do NBA streams. They get 10% of the stuff that they usually get. The week after, they do a different type of stream. They do match day vlogs and they get 20% of the stuff that they do. Why don't you just stick with Trench Talks? It works. So my thing is, we can't, as much as I have also been, and Emeka knows this, and Mike knows this, Jamie, Dean, and K-Mac, because we've done streams a lot. I've been one of the people probably very critical of the players and not blaming everything on Slot. But I'm sorry, if the chef is messing up every single week and changing things around every single week for no reason whatsoever, then that's the part that's on the manager. And I always bring up the Atletico game because it's a prime example. You play Atletico Madrid, you have a fantastic performance. It's a 10-star performance and you're cooking and you have 8 big chances created. Game after, this guy dropped, that guy dropped, this guy dropped, that guy dropped. This guy who was in midfield suddenly is the right back. Oh, look, the left back is now inverting again. Oh, look, the midfielder is now has the license to move forward. The person who has messed up this season the most is Arnie. This is the reality, okay? As much as the Galatasaray performance was incredible and it was great, and I understand, yes, the players might have put in 5%, 10% more effort, but Judge Mo always bring this up. Judge Mo don't hate Liverpool at all. Judge Mo has zero hatred towards Liverpool. He says one of the biggest things when it comes to management is the mental preparation of the team. All of us on this panel have watched football for a really long time. Forget Liverpool. We've watched football full stop. Big up to you, Hugo's fan. I'm sorry I'm going on a bit of a rant here. But we have all watched football for a really long time, yeah? All of us have watched football for a long time. We know when the players are just annoyed with the manager and they're annoyed with the stuff that they're asking to do. I personally, and this is speculation. I'm not an ITK. I'm not like someone who knows everything on the inside or nothing like this. I'm speculating. I think after Real Madrid and Aston Villa, when we had 2 good performances, Arne Slot asked the players to high press against Manchester City. I think that's when the players gave up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. That's the moment for me where I think, like, because I'm looking at it from the player perspective. We just put on 2 incredible performances against Aston Villa and Real Madrid, playing a specific set style. And then you go away to Manchester City and you want me to go high press the best team at playing out from the back in the whole country? Of course I'm going to get embarrassed, because within the first 5 to 10 minutes, Doku is already attacking this much space. And Van Dijk and Konate have to defend this much space. And Salah has to hold this much width. So it just doesn't work. So for me, when the chef messes up over and over and over and over again, and by the way, I'm not even going to be negative or anything, but I know I speak for all the panelists. I do, even without asking them. It wouldn't shock any of us if Kerkez is inverting tomorrow again. It wouldn't shock any of us if Szoboszlai is playing right back again, or Curtis Jones is playing right back again tomorrow. So many things won't shock us. So many things that have happened over and over and over and over again that are mistakes won't shock us, because Mike Das has been warning us all season. If you are shocked, then what have you been watching all year? As a matter of fact, I'm with Dean. A performance like Galatasaray is actually the shocking one. It's not a shock for us to be bad. No, it's a shock for us to be good.
You can say it's
when
a
we're
shock.
good,
You can say that you're
not
shocked.
when we're
I
bad
wasn't
anymore.
shocked.
That's the truth.
You can say that you were shocked, but I think last Friday I sat here and I said, I'm pretty sure Spurs are going to get something, and then we're going to go through against Galatasaray. And that's exactly what happened, because it's the most Liverpool thing that could have possibly happened to us. So again, to the game itself, I don't think it's very complex. When you deport Cody Gakpo to the bench, the team will create a flurry of opportunities. And the second Cody Gakpo gets his visa reinstated and he's back on the pitch, we create absolutely nothing. So if there's one thing to take away, Cody Gakpo is not a red. He's not a Liverpool player. The only time he's allowed to play is when we're up 4-0. That's it. That's your only time.
How have
Take
you
his wages.
spun this?
Take his wages and give it to anybody. Dude, it's facts. We should have scored 15 goals. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. I was disappointed in the lack of finishing. Mohamed Salah missed 3 1v1s and a penalty, and we still won 4-0. And Galatasaray still created nothing. And then Cody Gakpo comes on the pitch, and what happens? 15 minutes of dog shit. Just absolute eye bleach. Horrendous. Every time the guy touches the ball, I want to lose my mind. Just getting in people's ways doesn't matter. Listen, I think what you saw was, in short, we didn't have Cody Gakpo on the pitch, and everyone was putting in effort. Like that's the best way to describe it.
How are you making it about Gakpo, Mike?
No, because here's the problem. What you don't understand is that when Gakpo was on the field, he received 70% of our progressive passes. When Cody Gakpo is on the field, he is the main attacking outlet. When Cody Gakpo is on the field, we attack down the left-hand side 9 times out of 10. That's why. And when he's not on the field, guess what? We're not really playing with a left winger, because basically it was Ekitike and Mohamed Salah playing centrally with Florian and Dominic Szoboszlai basically given free roles. And what did we see? We would build up the right, then we would build up the left, then we would build up the middle, and then we would lose the ball, but then we would press. It was more cohesion, right? Because we weren't anchored down by the fact that, oh, well, Cody's on the pitch. Gotta please daddy. You know, Cody is Arne Slot's stepson. Gotta please daddy. Gotta give him the ball. So to me, what I saw was all 3 midfielders, they gave the extra 5% when it came to duels. They gave the extra 5% when the heavy touch came. And what I also saw was Florian Wirtz was on it. What I saw was that every time Florian Wirtz touched the ball, it was a shimmy and a layoff, and it always found the mark. I mean, look at our third goal, Ryan Gravenberch's goal. Florian Wirtz does a ridiculous job just to control the ball, plays it into Salah. Salah hits directly into the keeper. Gravenberch is there on the rebound. I thought Wirtz was fantastic. I do think that there were spells in the games where, you know, we were maybe a little bit lethargic or maybe a little bit too lateral in the first half, but that all immediately dissipated once the second half started, and we just ramped it up a little bit. And, you know, a lot of it to me just comes down to effort. And I think that if you want to have the broader conversation on Arne Slot, like, even with Arne Slot, I still don't think that we're 20 points off of Arsenal bad, right? Like, the fine margins this season have been that lack of effort.
You don't know what's the best part? We were 5 points ahead of them.
No, I know, 25 points.
Imagine a 25-point turnaround.
It's-
You know how mad that
Yeah,
is?
no, 100%. And some of that is tactical, but a lot of that is effort wise. Like, you don't lose that many games or drop that many points in the last minute by not dropping your concentration. And then what did we see against Galatasaray? Everyone was laser focused. Every loose ball, there's two guys there to fight for it. Like, those are the little things that I will say everyone should be on the players for. Like, when I talk about players, you leave it all on the pitch for me. And for the most of the season, they haven't been. And yes, we can point to Arne Slot and the lack of tactics, and we can point to the wrong 11s, but Slot can't control that. And all these players showed me, all the players showed me against Galatasaray, which
But can I
angered
give
me.
you an example of
is
something
that
Slot
He
can
can
control?
control that.
Yeah. Let
They
me
were-
give you an example.
Yeah.
1 second, just before I don't forget. Jamie and Emeka will come to you guys in a sec. Sorry, but I just have to say this. Yeah, just you do you think that Mo and Ekitike as strikers together works?
You can.
I mean, it's highly dependent on who we're playing. I don't think
But
that
it's
it's
like
something
the
that we
most
should-
best thing we can do right now.
right now because Cody Gakpo's in the team. Yes, it's our best option.
Okay, now here's my thing. You might not like Gakpo. I don't like Gakpo. No one on the panel like Gakpo. Fine. But if this is where me and you now, we're going to have to draw the line in the sand for this Arne Slot stuff. If Arne Slot actually sticks with what works, you know what he does? He runs back the same exact lineup, but because Mo is injured, he just plays Gakpo on that position instead. That's it.
You're right.
Don't mess around. Don't mess
You're
around.
right.
But you know what he's going to do? He's going to go 4-3-3
Arne,
again.
Yeah.
Double
Hassan,
pivot.
you're-
Yes.
Gakpo on the left,
Yeah.
Ekitike
You're not-
up top, Frimpong right wing. Want to bet?
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay, but you're not
Yeah.
understanding
He will.
the point
And
that I was
Zob's
trying to
right
make.
back. He will.
You are
Am I lying?
correct. Those are
Yeah.
his fault. But what isn't his fault is when McAllister and Gravenberch don't give me that extra effort when tracking back. What isn't his fault is when Soboslai doesn't give me the extra effort. That's all I'm saying. Like, I saw the players give everything, right? And that's all I want. Even if the tactics are terrible, even if you're playing the wrong 11, be a man. Like,
Yeah.
pull the team up. Just say, you know what?
Mm.
Screw this. I know the manager sucks.
Facts.
I know that, and I know that we suck, but I'm just going to put in the foot. I'm going to win the duel. I'm going to do this. I saw that. That's all I want to see going forward, because now you've shown me that you're perfectly capable of doing it for the first time since 4 months. So just do it again, right? And we can have the Slot conversations later. I'm happy that we won 4-0. I'm happy that we're going through, and we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, and I just think it's funny as well because us as fans, I feel, have been calling for this exact system all season. Like every stream, like throughout the season, everyone realized quite early on that this best suits the players that we have this year based on their form and everybody that we have. It's every time we've played it, I think maybe 4 or 5 times this season, we've scored a lot of goals. We're more controlled. McAllister looks better. There's bodies around him. Salah's closer to goal. Like there's just everything's just better about it. And then when we add in the factors of who we actually have as rotation, by switching to just having the 2 forwards, we can just rotate. When we have the 2 up front, we don't need Gakpo to start every game, basically. And I think a big part of Gakpo starting every game that's not talked about enough is just FSG still runs this as a business. And I think when they gave him that new contract, in that contract, there's a certain number of games played, minutes played. Like we're not like a City where we're gonna have Bush on the bench like making 300. FSG's never really operated like that. So it was clear to everyone that he should be dropped, but he was never getting dropped. And I genuinely think it's based on that new contract they gave him. But thankfully, Slot now we're near the end of the season. He's woken up and he's okay to put him on the bench and switch the system. So I'm happy that the team upped it. Like everybody stood up. We had a poor first half, especially from our attackers. But what I liked is that mentality to keep going. Just keep going. The fans got up. As Dean said, like Kirkes was getting into tackles, like upping the crowd, and everyone just built on it. Stevie was there. That got the crowd excited. Like it was just a perfect like European Anfield night. And I think the team, we also have to add in the factor of, I think most of us would agree, at least how I felt, was that Spurs draw was the lowest moment of the season for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
In terms
Yeah.
of like that's a really new low. We've had a lot of lows this season, but that was like, wow. Like you could feel it coming. Like you didn't want to believe it in the moment, that whole second half, but I was just there watching it like, wow, these guys are actually going to drop points to Spurs today. Like the players are actually going to allow this to happen. Like, again, it's those personal pride moments where it's like, I don't want to talk about Slot and the tactics. That's just like as a player, like we're at Anfield against this Spurs. Like you guys got to find a way to win this game. So I was happy that the fans
self-respect.
Yeah, it's just this isn't about tactics anymore. In the sense that Slot did get out tacticked by their coach, to be fair, as well. But still, we had the players on the pitch to win that game, and them not doing it and seeing how Anfield responded, I think that played a big factor in how they performed against Gala. Like everyone knew straight away. I think Zobo kicked it out of bounds like PSG, and like right at that moment, I'm like, okay, they're going to be locked in today, pressing, front-footed. So yeah, more of the same. As I said before, Hussam, I think these players, we're going to see the best versions of them in the Cup Comp games. I just think they're built that way. I think they have the arrogance to think we're going to get into top 4, top 5 anyways, which I still think we will. But they want to win trophies. And I think for the most part in these games, we're going to see our players up it in the FA Cup games and the Champions League games. So that's kind of what I'm expecting going forward.
Jamie, why quiet?
I've been telling everyone all season that it's not a player problem, it's a manager problem, and he doesn't play the players to the correct system.
Yeah.
Now everyone keeps talking about midfield profiles, fullback profiles, and all that. Slot doesn't even know his system, so what players are we getting to match his system? It's never made sense. You know, Slot always talks about how the opposition plays, not how Liverpool play. He's always worried about how the opposition play, not how Liverpool plays, which tells you he hasn't got a system that he trusts with players. So he changes his system every game he plays for the opposition. That is the thing that's always annoyed me since he's been coach of Liverpool, since day one. And this season, I've always said, we haven't got wide players. We haven't got the wide players to play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Because if you've got to play that system, you need wide players that are very pacey, can go up and down, and can press from the front. We haven't got them kind of wingers. And when you haven't got them kind of wingers, your midfield gets exposed. Your midfield gets totally exposed. So your midfield has to step forward to do the pressing that your wingers can't do. And that's why everyone goes forward really quickly. And that's why we're always out of position. Because we just ain't got the players. I've always said we need to play a 4-4-2. Any system of a 4-4-2 suits everyone we got. Because Salah is better in front of goal. Gakpo is better in front of goal than they are in the wide positions. You know, you've got McAllister and Gravenberch who get heavily exposed week in, week out. But if you put them in a position that have midfielders in front of them and you make everything a bit more narrow and compact, and you use your pacey fullbacks that you bought in the summer to do the attacking job that they're meant to do, you get the best out of them. You don't need your wingers to give you width all the time. You can use your fullbacks to give you width. And you compact the area in the midfield area. We've got talented footballers. You know, we have got talented midfielders who like to get hold of the ball and move it about and try and play 5-yard balls through the lines and stuff like that. But when you're trying to do that in a 4-3-3 system with wide players that can't press, you're going to get exposed, which means you have to go side to side because we haven't got the pace in the wide areas. You know, there's no out ball. It's something I've always been saying. The fullbacks we got give you the perfect width, which means you can play with the ball in the midfield and you don't get exposed. You can play it out from the back into the midfield with midfielders around them. You had Wirtz who's playing a left attacking midfielder, his position. You got Szoboszlai and a right attacking midfield position where he can float around and they can both drift out wide and drift narrow. You know, then you got two forwards in Ekitike and Salah who can, you know, Salah's going to naturally drift out wide a little bit in a way, but his starting position is more central. You know, Ekitike's got that freedom where he can drop in a little bit as well if he needs to pick up the ball. That is how Liverpool should play. And also playing that way means we can play with more intensity because we can get hold of the ball and move forward quicker. gives us better balance. We can't play with intensity in a 4-3-3 because we haven't got the wide players. So for Slot now, and then Slot said something after the in his press conference after the game when he said, we played this system before, but every time we play this system, we get an injury, so I can't play it again the next game.
What?
And then I
That's
think
just not true, though.
and it's not true, but what I'm thinking he's talking about is mostly the right back area because he mentioned Joe Gomez. And if you remember, there was one time when we played this system, I can't remember it was going, I think it might be Real Madrid or Inter Milan, and Joe Gomez was the outlet on the right-hand side. He was the one getting forward because Frimpong was injured. And that's why he mentioned when Curtis Jones came in, Curtis can give us that. So from now on, we got, 9 weeks left of the season? Liverpool got a big chance now getting Champions League football because Chelsea's drop off, Aston Villa's dropping off, Man United drawing today. Liverpool got this big chance tomorrow afternoon. If I'm on the slot, I don't change a thing. The only thing I would change is probably Salah for Gakpo in the front two, right? And that's all I change. And you just go. It's international break after this. What are you resting players for? Right? Just, I don't care about international break. Slot shouldn't care about the international break. Play the players. Let them go and play against Brighton with that same intensity, that same system that played against Gala, and see if you get the result. Because changing it now would, because what's going to happen? The fans are going to lose. I think the fans are really going to lose their shit after they see the performance in Galatasaray and the system they played, and the intensity that they played with. To go back to sidewards, boring, that 4-3-3 formation where it doesn't work. Even Rio, when he came on in the second half, he played a 10 and he could.
Yeah, he was great, actually.
So it's. I don't think in our squad we have got the width to play 4-3-3. We haven't got it in our first 11 and we haven't got it on the bench because Chiesa likes playing through the middle. Rio is the only one. Rio, out of all the players we got, is our only real out-and-out winger. Right? That's it. So to go back to 4-3-3 now would be absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not going to say he's not going to do it because it's on the slot, but that's my feelings.
The thing is, as well, is Jamie's absolutely right. Like the profile of players that we bought for the left and the right-hand side can provide the width. And you've seen it. Like Frimpong's, personally for me, I think Frimpong's probably better as the wing back. As the pushing forward right back more than a right winger, because when we play him on the right wing, he starts too deep and he has to do too much work to even get to where he's going to be dangerous, and we don't have anyone to help him to do like a decoy run or take a runner away or be supportive with him. So I think he works better if he is used as the width, just like Kerkez is. He's now got the winning formula to actually go and do something now this season. And the crazy thing is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think he could. I genuinely think with Isaac coming back as well, and Rio starting to show the type of form where you can go, you know what, we can use him 30 minutes a game easily. I'm sat there thinking, we could do a madness now, We could go and win the Champions League, get into Europe, and possibly win the FA Cup if he gets this team in this formation back on the pitch again. But he won't.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the question for all of you, yeah?
Hold the horses.
Show of hands, who here thinks Slot is going to change it up again?
Of course he is.
Not unless the players get injured. If the players don't get injured,
that's not.
I can't believe you think that he's not going to change it.
No, but
He's gonna change it.
even with the injuries, what does it make sense to do tomorrow? Just play. Just Salah injured, no problem. Salah out, Gakpo in. Gakpo, TK up top together. Is that going to happen?
No.
So what is he going to do? Who's going to play on the right? Who's going to play on the right?
Oh, I have a surprise for you, buddy. We already know what's going to happen tomorrow. Frimpong right wing, left wing Cody Gakpo, up top Ekitike, and he's going to play one of Szoboszlai or Jones right back. 100%.
No. That's not what he's going to do. It's going to be Frimpong right back, Salah right wing, Gakpo left wing, Ekitike.
Salah's injured.
He's hurt?
Yeah, that's
what we're talking about.
He's not going on international duty either.
And Alisson's injured. Addison's out as well.
Do I live under a
Alisson
rock?
injured.
I had no idea.
Alisson, I saw that injury coming. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when the players play the ball back to him now, his kicking technique has changed. He's kicking it as if he's trying not to get injured. That's why he's had so many like wayward balls just going everywhere. Like I've seen it for like the last probably like 5 or 6 games where I'm like, something's.
He doesn't take goal kicks now. Van Dijk takes the long goal kicks, everything. So
he doesn't kick it. He doesn't want to hit it.
Doesn't kick it at all. That's a problem.
His hammies are gone.
If Arne Slot were smart, he wouldn't even play with wingers tomorrow. He would just throw 5 midfielders out there, put Ekitike up top, do the same back 4 that you've done. Just start Curtis Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. Just start all 5 and put Ekitike up top. If you're really smart, because one thing that I noticed is that the commentator before the game started against Galatasaray, he said something about how Liverpool are going to have to play super narrow, right? And I was like that is an odd observation because you think that we're not playing with wingers, we're going to play narrow. And what happened? We were able to play both. We were able to play wide. We were also able to play down the middle. We were able to play compact. We were able to play loose. I've been asking for 4 or more midfielders for a long time. And again, when you go back to the Atletico Madrid game, what was Salah doing? Salah was basically he wasn't even like a winger. He was more of an inside forward. And Jeremy Frimpong was just overlapping him every time. So even the winger that we did play was really more on top of the box than he was on the touchline. So, what would make sense after Galatasaray would be just put Curtis Jones on and remove the winger and just go straight up Ekitike. But is that going to happen? Probably not. Are we going to see any logical changes going forward? I don't know. Could we potentially see, the 4-4-2 be our Europe formation? Maybe. I do think that Slot is going to be, especially since the first leg is going to be at Paris. I think Slot's going to be very hesitant. I think he's going to go over there and he's going to try to do the same thing that he did last time and sort of shell up and say, let's grow into the game. But I don't know about the English league. I think it's different. I think Europe is much different. And at the end of the day, we can only give this performance so much merit. I mean, Galatasaray is dog shit. They fucking suck. And we spent £500 million. I'm sorry. Like, we should be dog walking this team. This should have looked like what PSG Chelsea looked like. This should have been a 7-goal margin on goal difference. This should have been 8-1 aggregate.
I agree with you.
That's on the player not finishing their dinner, man.
I will say something about Salah though.
Like, I don't get what are we watching? I don't know why I feel like I'm on the Arab Mike Dice now. Like I feel like I've turned to Mike Dice 2.0 now. But like legit, what are we watching? Based on what you're saying, start Rio on the right.
Rio
and you
on the right. He doesn't have a left foot.
You know what we'd all do? Just run it back. Even if you want to go Rio Ekitike up top, I don't care. Just run. But he ain't gonna do that though, and that's one of the things that you criticize Slot for. He stumbles upon a working formula, and then he messes it up again. Then he's by the way, one of the things as well, if you guys notice, Wirtz playing on the left actually gives the team a bit of balance. Have you guys noticed that? Yeah, I think it gives a little bit of balance to the team because
he was playing everywhere, bro. He was all over the pitch.
Yeah, I know, but him like being in that area, I think allows us to play basically last season's midfield. Therefore, having that balance in that center of the midfield where you've got Szoboszlai doing a lot of the running, McAllister doing McAllister stuff, Gravenberch tackling, playing out of the press with his dribbling, stuff like this. Everyone just doing stuff that they're good at. I think it works, but
we had a box. We had a box midfield. Box midfield works for Liverpool.
Yeah. You play 4 midfielders.
I think the game he'll overthink. I'm gonna get to this in a bit, but I think the game he'll overthink the most is probably PSG. I think he's been so obsessed with PSG for the last year. I think he's going to do some crazy adjustments against PSG. I'll be honest with you.
I will say one thing about Salah that Mike picked up on, and it's the fact that Salah played more inside. There's a meme going around or something, and it's basically the heat map of Mo Salah last season. It was the same as the Galatasaray game.
Yeah, and then all this season has just been
Mo Salah near the goal, and he gets 5.
How long have we been saying that though? Adjusted.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Sam. Right. The next game, don't complicate things. Just put Gakpo where Salah was. Simple as that. Mohamed Ashrali in goal. Gakpo. You don't have to do nothing complicated. Now I know we want to pack the midfield, but It worked. Why change? Why must we make 4 changes? Why not just make the one simple change and just go with it? If it doesn't work, change it mid-game. Simple.
And for all the people, yeah,
once
I'm so glad K-Mac brought up the heat map. Just give me 1 second. For all the people in the chat, like Tumpline and others, and that's fine. Feel free to disagree, but we're here to provide you evidence as well. I'm going to show you Salah heat map versus Galatasaray away.
Sorry.
I'm going to show you versus Galatasaray away, and then I'm going to show you versus Galatasaray at home. Okay? And you be the judge since you defend Slot a lot, yeah? This is Mo, Galatasaray away from home when we lost 1-0. Okay? This is Mo, Galatasaray at home where we won the game, obviously. And we could have won. I agree. We could have scored 10 goals. See the difference? The first one essentially is right back. Like if you just just keep this image, like I wish I could just put them side by side, but if you keep this image in your head and then you just switch it to this instead. 1 second, I'm gonna copy paste and just switch it to this directly. We just go here. Okay, I can't do it. I tried copy pasting, but it doesn't work. If you go here, now look at the heat map.
Yeah, well, that's
the story of the season.
So that's a wingers.
You go from right forward to right back, basically.
So what Salah's heat map there is what a right winger should be doing in this 4-3-3 setup, yeah, right? But you're asking a Mo Salah who can't really take people on and run like he used to do that job, yeah? Then if you look at that heat map where he's more of a striker, if you look at the darkest colours, that's his most active area of the pitch, ain't it? The more darkest colour, yeah?
Yeah. That's what
that's basically in the striker role. Yeah. So look, we've all said it, yeah, about Mo Salah, right? Mo Salah is a moments player. He'll always score a goal or create something, yeah, if you put him in the right position. If you play him out wing on the touchline, I don't mean to be horrible, but in his age now, he's not going to be good enough, right?
We all agree that.
And you're not going to get the best out of him. And also, who's he crossing to? Because that's why Ekitike and Isak struggle, because you've got 2 wingers who don't really, don't act like wingers. Yeah. So, the strikers always go struggle as well. Then the number 10s go struggle if they're playing in that area because everyone's in their zone. So, yeah, you just play Salah in front of the goal. I mean, it ain't rocket science at the end of the day, is it? We all know that. No, I don't.
Let me flip the question on you.
Eden Hazard. Do you know what I mean?
And we realize it. Why doesn't he realize it? Tell me.
He's a dick.
Because he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Because he's a blind, bald cuck. Because he's a moron.
Guys.
He's a moron. But like, bro, the fundamental concept, like, we have been sitting here, and since fucking October, we have said, you guys spread your legs like a Turkish whore. That is the way that you set up. You spread yourself apart as much as you possibly can. You try to be as loosey-goosey, like a hot dog down a hallway. And what does a 4-4-2 do? A 4-4-2 forces you to be more compact. You're not playing the super wide touchline football. You're not isolating Cody Gakpo into a 1v3. You're not isolating Mohamed Salah into a 1v3. And last week, when Jeremy Frimpong started the first Galatasaray game, when Jeremy Frimpong was playing right back, what did he do? He was picking up the ball at the halfway line by himself with no one near him. When you play at 4-4-2, it just naturally becomes more compact. Players are just closer together. It's easier to play football. And obviously, I don't think it was a 4-4-2 throughout the whole game. Like, we were switching, we were moving around. But whatever side of the pitch the ball was on, the whole game revolved around it there. But every time we play this 4-2-3-1, I feel like I'm looking at 2 players on one side and 6 players on the other. And it's like Arne Slot expects the 2 players to just magically get the ball to the 6, which doesn't make any possible sense. And for the first time against Galatasaray, we're seeing chance after chance after chance after chance, because that's not the way we're playing. We're not playing loosey-goosey. We're playing compact, quick, smooth, eye candy football. But that all goes back to style. And again, you can that Galatasaray heat map is what Mohamed Salah's heat map has been this entire season. If you were to look the whole season, it's all on the touchline. But then if you go to last season, it looks like it did versus Galatasaray at home, even though he was still in a 4-3-3, but that didn't matter because Salah didn't ever come back. It was, Salah, you were an inside forward. That's what you do. That's what you've done for 9 years. I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel. Just stay up. We'll get the ball to you and just bang. Make it happen. Well, when the guy's in the right position, he's actually a pretty decent player. And you can give that same bone to Cody Gakpo, because I do think that he's been asked to do the same exact thing. Touchline winger, isolate, make it happen. But again, doesn't make any sense. That's like taking a fish out of water and expecting it to breathe. It needs water. Why are you putting it in this position? It's going to die. And, this season, Cody Gakpo has been terrible. But yeah, it all comes down to him, and it all comes down to the way that he sets it up, which is why I give players a little bit of leeway. But other people
as Mike was speaking, I did something. Yeah. I want you guys to just focus with me for a second. Yeah. Forget the heat map of Mo. I went and I looked at the heat maps of McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz, and Szoboszlai. I went and looked at the heat maps of the 4 midfield area players. Yeah, watch this. I need you guys to just focus on the screen because I'm gonna go from one game to the other. So just look at I'm gonna go through these 4. Yeah, these 4 midfielders right here. These are their heat maps. This is Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister, Florian Wirtz. By the way, Florian Wirtz being in this area, 100 million to play him left back essentially, and this is Szoboszlai. Now, the Anfield game. Watch this. Watch how different it is and how much this formation actually works compared to the original one, yeah? Watch this. This is their heat maps for Galatasaray at home. This is Gravenberch. This is McAllister in a lot more advanced position. Dominic Szoboszlai, just like last year, by the way. This is where he was. And Florian Wirtz, a lot more down the middle.
You mean it was balanced?
Yes, and not just balanced.
Right?
Everyone is actually occupying the spaces which they're best at. Like everyone is in the area where they probably play their best ball. Like because can you guys see the mouse? By the way, you can see the mouse, right?
Yeah.
The return fixture, the 1-0 loss to Galatasaray, Wirtz was here. Bro, I don't care if it's Cherki, KDB, like Mesut Ozil. What are they gonna do here? There's literally no point of having your £100 million creative player be in this area. That's where I want Kerkez to be, bro. Yeah, that's where I want Kerkez to be. That's not where I want my creative 10 to be.
Everyone, look, this is what I said earlier. Everyone was in their correct position. Everyone played where they should play and get their strengths out of them, which means when you do that, guess what? You can play with more intensity. It's not rocket science.
What is that absolute bull? They gave Frimpong a 6.3. What a load of shit.
I would say Frimpong was our worst player on the day.
Yeah, he was.
6.3.
Don't mean he was shit.
He got hooked in 60 minutes. He got hooked in 60 minutes for Jones, and then we really.
When you say hooked,
Yeah, but the thing is, we were already up. We were already up 3-0. I don't know why we were up 3-0 when Frimpong got subbed off. We only scored one more goal. Frimpong's own goal was going to be the 4th goal, but it was offside, so it didn't count. And then he was subbed off. We were up.
Yeah. Do you know what annoys me though? Do you know what annoys me the most? Yeah, when everyone keeps saying it's only Galatasaray, so everyone forgot we lost them twice already this season.
We did.
We did.
Well, in kind of the same fashion.
That's how bad we are.
So, yeah.
The first game we played Frimpong right wing and still lost as well. It wasn't even Mo who played right wing. So
no.
Yeah,
anyway, let me just grab these supers. I want to look at the Brighton game and I want to look at Liverpool moving forward. Now we're going to be miserable again, chat, because we were very happy for these last 40 minutes. I want to make us all miserable again, So big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Guys, we got 700 people in here. Big up to Terry for the raid earlier as well. Let's get the likes up, please. We can't not even have 200 likes. Your return is worse than Arne Slot return. So please just like the video and subscribe and find shame. Big up to you all. Jota died in July. Big up, Jota. The day before preseason starts. The game started in early August. How important is it for a team to have a good preseason? Did they have enough time to prepare? Look, Morton, first of all, thank you for the message. And look, none of us on this panel have forgotten about Diogo Jota. Even today, we were speaking about him on the Man United watch along and the way he was as a striker and everything. We're not pushing it to the side or anything. But my thing is, I actually find it disrespectful almost to Diogo. Every time Liverpool lose a game or every time Liverpool drop points, it's almost used as a stick to beat us with. Like us that look at the game and analyze the game and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like people are just weaponizing his death as an excuse for us to not criticize. And I think that's very unfair on the team, on the coach, on the manager. and on us as content creators as well, because we have to watch what's in front of us and analyze it. And in terms of having a good preseason, of course, it had an effect on the players. We're never going to deny that. 100%. This is the guy they shared the locker room with all season long for last year. Some of them shared it for even longer than just 1 year. Some of them shared it with him ever since he signed from Wolves, like Mo and Allison, Van Dijk, and the guys who were there, Robertson, and they formed brotherhoods and friendship with him. So we never deny that it had an impact, 100%. But we also have to look at the games week in, week out, and analyze the stuff that we see in front of our own face. Like if Slot makes the tactical decision that we think is wrong, as an example, the stuff that we just showed you with heat map, of the midfielders, that's tactical, that's instructional. I don't think that has nothing to do with preseason. Also, in the infamous words of Jamie Phillips last season, we can't be bringing up fatigue and tiredness and stuff like this in March. Before he gets angry and says it, I'll say it for.
We also went 7 games on the run, winning, by the way. So, didn't affect the start of our season.
I got this feeling that the beginning of the season, the players were all pushing to win games because of Jota at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Because it was
that's what Mo thinks as well.
So it was so fresh in their mind, and they had that energy and fight, and then that energy and fight slowly disappeared. But yeah, I do feel that. I do feel that.
Yeah. Another perfect description by Mike. This one when Mike went off earlier on. He got me. Big up to you, Hugo's fan. Big up. Big up to my guy Alex Leonte, who says, can we talk about the shit treatment Georgi Manbashvili has been suffering? Ali was injured and rushed back 2 times, and Slot still gave him no games. I'll tell you why I don't think Mamardashvili played in the FA Cup. It's because
shit treatment though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's shit treatment. It's because we lost the Carabao Cup and we lost the Premier League, and Slot has to go all out and win these competitions, mate. So
how is he not getting a game against Barnsley though? I'm sorry.
Come on.
Guys, did you not read the news just before we went live about this? Alisson's been suffering from a muscle issue since the last internationals, apparently.
Yeah, I could see it.
And Arne Slot apparently told the players not to pass back to and use
You're joking.
to use Alisson as much. Yeah, that news came out before we went live. I was reading it on Twitter.
Oh my! Are you telling me?
That's crazy though.
No, come on. This is beyond the joke now.
Let me see if I
Don't
can
pass it back to your goalkeeper because he's injured.
And if you notice, if you go back and look, if you do go back and look, we hardly do use the goalkeeper the last few weeks.
Yeah,
you're right.
I have
He's made a
noticed
glass.
that.
Because he's made a glass.
all the way against Wolves for that.
There was a back pass at the Galatasaray game in I think it was like the 90th minute, and Ali had to come really far out of his goal, and he was like limping all over the place, and I was like, oh my god, like what's going on with him?
That is beyond a joke now. How can you play an injured goalkeeper? Like that is such negligence. What's that say to your second keeper if he knows you're in training? You know the number one's injured, and the manager still doesn't play you. That's what it's that same treatment he does to the right back. What's his name? I forgot his name. The youngster. I've got no right back. You got a right back sitting there. Ramsey. You got a right back sitting there, but you won't play him.
Yeah, where have you guys seen this? Where?
Management's terrible.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I saw it on Twitter just before I went live.
How does a goalkeeper whose job is to stand around for 85 minutes in a game always get hurt? That's the better. Like you're not doing anything. You're standing. Your job is to stand there. You move like maybe 10 minutes of the game. You're moving. If we just compile all the times where your feet are moving, 10 minutes, maybe. You're not going to get hurt walking to the top of your box. So how does this guy get hurt so much? I don't understand.
Funny his body's given up. I think he's done.
Courtois is just as injury prone as Alisson. Like they're both.
But he also tore his ACL though. That's a little bit different.
It's weird.
That's worse.
And also, but here's the thing with Thibaut Courtois, because this is actually a whole analysis that I saw when Real Madrid created their new stadium and they have the retractable thing. The reason why is you're seeing this uptick in Achilles and ACL injuries at the Bernabeu is because the soil that they have is only about 3 inches thick. And because it's that thick, there's no real support for when a player's spike gets, dug into the ground. Whereas at a place like Liverpool, It's like proper soil. Like there's an actual depth, which means that, you know, your cleats can go in and they won't get caught. It has to do with the design of the stadium. And it's become, you know, this common thing where guys go there, they tear their ACL or they strain their meniscus, or, you know, maybe they strain their Achilles or some muscle in their leg because of the way that it's designed. It's terrible. It's awful. And it's just because so that Beyonce, when she comes, you know, they don't have to put the fucking tiles on top of the grass. Oh, let's just retract it. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's not good.
Ridiculous.
I haven't
Is
seen
that the
that.
same with Tottenham as well then? Because Tottenham have mad injuries now.
Yes. It's the same exact. It's sort of the same concept with turf, right? Like turf doesn't have a giant support system or a base, right? And you know, when you have these retractable things, you can't have like real soil. Like it's very compacted. It's like 3 inches, you know, and then you have the grass, and it's like it's not natural. It's not good for the studs. And then, you know, you get things like this where players get their cleat caught. And on any other ground in the world, it would just slide through the soil. But here, no, because it's so tightly compacted, because it's only 3 inches, it gets stuck. And those are the fine margins. Like, it's not that difficult to tear your ACL. Like, it's not that difficult to tear a muscle. I mean, these guys are running full speed and then switching direction on a dime. You know, if one thing gets caught, you're cooked.
Big up panel. We need to play a fluid diamond formation. Eki and Salah close to goal. Gravenberg stay back. Verts 10 with freedom. Right back and left back for the width. Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak to you as well. And by the way, I'm glad you brought this up, Mikhail, as well. Because one of the other things as well about the formation that we all agree works, you've got to go Frimpong and Kirkas. That's another thing. Like, this does not work with like Soboslai, Robertson, Curtis Jones, blah, blah. It doesn't work. You've got to go like your 2 most advanced attacking fullbacks. You can't go with the defensive ones and think that it will work. You need like the top dogs, bro. That's the truth. And thank you for bringing this up, Mikhail. Big up to Alex Leon, who says we also need to realize that Galatasaray are just shit. Even as a slot outer, the reason why I think that's unfair is because PSV are shit and Wolves are shit and Spurs are shit. So we have to look at the games in front of us. Big up to Rod Mehta, who says, watch Hughes, Edwards, and Slot subtly point fingers at each other when they leaves. Novers don't build teams and yes men's don't dominate other teams. Did you guys see Chris Williams' rant on the journalism around Liverpool and like the training and how it's like North Korea and stuff like this?
They don't ask any
we caught them in the web of lies this season. When Mo called out the club, they put out articles. Oh, he has no friends in the Liverpool fan base. A month later. Oh, by the way, Mo helped Vert settle in. So which one is it? Oh, like, the coffee boys all love Mo and meet up with him in the morning. But you told me you have no friend of the press.
That's why it's stupid. That's why it's stupid. It's stupid because they released the inside training videos. So like we see the videos. It's Mo there, it's Bobo, it's Kirkez, it's Curtis. Like we literally see it every week. How are you putting this out in the press? And that's when I do like there's some funny stuff going on behind the scenes. Like it's, as this guy said, a bunch of yes men and everyone's just playing their part, right?
It's like that Spider-Man minute.
Big up to Caster. Caster is on to Emeka, by the way. This is completely in response to Emeka, just so you know. Emeka triggers Caster like no other. Last time Salah farted too loud on the pitch, disrespecting Van Dijk's perfume aura. That's why we drew to Spurs. 100% Salah's fault. And then he comes back and says, Alhamdulillah, Mo ain't playing tomorrow. We're 100% going to win. Your response, please, because this aimed at you only. I know him already. Yes.
I do think we will win, yeah. But Mo had a great game. So, salute to him. He had a great game. Say what you said.
Oh my God. You know, I'll be honest with you. The Galatasaray watch along was the funniest thing. Big up Hamid, who just says, big up the small soil. Big up to you as well. You bottled everything this season. AC Milan, bottle job club. But anyway, let me just say this, yeah? The funniest moment. Mo misses the penalty against Galatasaray. 450 people come into the watch along directly. That's what I'm doing a watch along. 450 people immediately flock into the watch along. 3/4 of them are Liverpool fans telling me talk about Mo now. It's the funniest thing ever. And then in the second half, I'll be honest with you, this is the first game this season where I legit thought we could have won like by 10 goals. No exaggeration. If I say we could have won 10-0, this is the one time where you can say you're not even exaggerating, Hussam, you're actually speaking the truth. We legit could have won like 10 by 10-0, yeah? My thing is, as soon as the second half started and Mo fixed up his errors and Ekitike as well, no one in the chat came in and said anything. It's the funniest thing. Like, no one went like, oh, he fixed up or any of this, which shows me some people actually wanted us to lose that game just to put it all on Mo. And that's the sad part for me now. It's become a point scoring thing. And me pointing out the stuff with Virgil is stuff I did on purpose, because now you realize how it feels to be point scored on, and it's not fun. So, yeah, let's actually speak about the biggest problem, which is Baldy.
Did you see what Virgil did when we scored the equaliser and they all ran off celebrating? He ran and got the ball out the net.
Yeah, he literally yelled them all to get back, and half the team ran the other way. Yeah.
He's literally
When did this happen?
What's this?
Right after Sopasai scored off the corner. Sopasai scored off the corner, ran to the corner. Verts, Gravenberch, and one other guy followed.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
no, Virgil grabs the ball and then he looks at them and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, let's go."
Just equalized.
Exactly. And then
I didn't even see that.
Respect.
I wanted to celebrate, but no, Virgil was like, "No,
500 million and you'll win." Is deflect on most shit performances. Trophy maybe spent 1 billion next. You signed Allegri, and you bottled a league title in the Serie A against Christian Kivu. It's like Liverpool getting Pep Guardiola and losing a league title. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah, big up though, Hamid. Big up. I know you're still butthurt about Istanbul. Hold that, mate. Hold that. We made Maldini and Pirlo cry, and you're never ever gonna recover from that. Anyway, I want to look at Brighton, PSG, and just like Liverpool moving forward a little bit, because obviously in the next round of the Champions League we play PSG. Just out of curiosity, show of hands, who thinks we'll beat PSG?
I think it's possible. Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. So I'm going to give you one of these.
If we play with the right system and the right intensity, I think we can have as good a chance as anything.
Did you watch the first game against Chelsea? Like, did anyone here watch that? They were not good at all. Chelsea fucked it. Chelsea should have been Chelsea should not have been drawing to PSG. My bad, Jamie.
No, you're right.
I didn't mean to step
No, you're all right.
Chelsea were terrible in that. I mean, PSG were awful in that first leg, and then they gave up in the second leg. Like, it's the same thing that happened with what was the other one with Barcelona and Newcastle. Like the second Barcelona went 1 goal up, Newcastle completely just gave up, and they're like, "We don't want to be here anymore. Just put us back on the plane now. We don't care if it's there's some kind of embarrassment." Chelsea should have scored way more that first game. I think, I think it's really in our hands. Like, I think that we have the ability to. It's just a question of, are we going to?
The second leg being at Anfield is a big one. So, we'll get to it. I think it's our second game back after international break, isn't it? It's the FA Cup and then the PSG game.
Yeah.
I think we get If Liverpool play with any kind of intensity and aggressiveness, then they will do really well. If they turn up against PSG like we've been playing in the Premier League of late, we'll get our asses handed to us. It's as simple as that. We will. The one thing I will say, like, Chelsea did play well against them in the first leg, and you could argue that first leg should maybe ended 2-2 if Chelsea didn't go off the boil.
Yeah.
No matter how bad Liverpool have been, we got a better midfield than Chelsea. And it gets proved year in, year out. They talk about Casado and all that. Liverpool got a bit of midfield. If Liverpool just play with aggression and press and, play with intensity, I think we'll be all right. But if we play like we play in the Premier League, we'll get absolutely turned over comfortably. So
I think if we press them and try to go toe-to-toe, I think it could get, especially like in the away leg, I think that's a recipe for disaster potentially. Like, I could see us getting through. I don't know if we should go. I think we should grow into the game. I don't know if we should press them from minute 1 away from home. I think
no, first leg, second leg. I don't think we should.
Yeah, second leg. Yeah, first leg. I think we should just. For me, first leg. As long as we lose by less than 1 goal or less, like obviously we want to go and win. If we draw, that's fine too. But as long as we keep it within a 1-goal margin going back to Anfield, I think anything can happen. That it's not talked about enough, but that second leg last season versus PSG before
we should have gone through.
Yeah, before Trent went down, like we were starting to purr in that second half, and we were on top of them. And then Trent went down, and just Our build-up collapsed.
Post.
Kind of just went to shit. So
In that
I
game,
think we can actually play with these guys.
In that game at Anfield, Pacho cleared 2 off the line from Salah, like unbelievable clearances, like point blank.
Mendes had one as well in the first 5 minutes.
The thing about it as well is those European games, the teams that all went out, they conceded 30 goals in 8 games. The British teams, like that is insane. Like that's just something that Liverpool aren't going to let happen. I just can't see it. Like if you look at the way Arnie's played in some of the bigger games, like your Marseilles and your Inter Milans and your Real Madrids, he's actually been quite pragmatic with his defense, and he's got players behind the ball. And he said, didn't he, that I'm gonna throw away the way that I want to play for these games. I think if we do the same against PSG, I genuinely believe we could probably get away with a draw at their ground, and then we can just try what we did against Galatasaray at Anfield. I do feel quite confident because Newcastle had loads of chances against PSG, and so did Chelsea. Like it wasn't like they weren't creating chances, and their goalkeeper's terrible.
They
Like
scored 2 goals, right? They
yeah,
scored
shots at their goalkeeper. He's not great.
If you look at the actual XG in the first leg, Chelsea had more XG than PSG, and yet they lost 5-2. Like PSG in those 2 legs were exceptionally clinical. So, there is that sense.
It doesn't matter
No,
with PSG, right? Like they're a finishing team. Like I feel like XG, they're gonna finish those chances that are half chances. That's what makes them who they are, right? So
they're clinical.
It's hard to.
But don't you think that there's so much things? I don't want to be a downer, but there's so much things need to go in our favour. We got to rely on the manager getting the right players on the pitch, right tactics. The players got to be up for it. PSG, what I've noticed about PSG, they'll drop their standards to a certain level. They'll drop their standards, but they can still score goals. When we drop our standards, we can't score. And we still concede.
There's also
PSG
another
will
thing.
drop their standards to our level and be clinical. They're going to do that. We can't do that.
I don't think we'll drop our standards in the Champions League games. Like I've felt that for like a few weeks now. Where
but we got to be everything's got to go right for us to beat PSG.
Yeah, like I don't think any of us are saying that we're favorites or like it would be a surprise. It would be much more of a surprise if we went through than if PSG went through.
Fact.
What people got to remember about PSG as well, yeah. Obviously, Barcola's not going to be fit for probably the first leg, which is going to be a big one. Because Barcola is playing out his world in the last few weeks. Also, everyone keeps forgetting this. They got a title clash against Lens in between the 2 Liverpool games.
They're talking about they could postpone it.
They can't rest.
No, they apparently can't. Apparently they can't.
Sure.
Yeah,
they always get away with it. They always get away with it.
They can't. And it's one of them games because it's a title clash. They can't actually rest their 11, so they're going to have to play them. So there is going to be. Look, I always expect Liverpool to win games, but Europe's weird with Liverpool, even when we're dog turds, somehow we do quite well with Europe at the same time. It's a weird one, but I don't know. Look, if PSG go through, they go through. None of us are going to be sitting there going, oh my God, how did that happen? We expect it, but I think we're going to be a bit more, oh my God, how did that happen if we actually go through?
I don't know about that because listen, I'm just gonna say my spidey senses have been pretty decent lately. I just feel for some reason we're gonna just bamboozle our way through France. It'll probably end in a draw. I feel just off of a gut feeling, it's gonna be like 1-1 at PSG, and then it's gonna be a super intense 2-1 at Liverpool, and we'll somehow just get it over the line, and then we'll go on and we'll face Bayern Munich. It just feels like Luis Diaz cooking at Bayern, all these different talks between them. It just feels like I'm going to see Liverpool versus Bayern. I don't know why. I don't know why, but like there's this giant pit in my stomach that is like it's going to be Liverpool Arsenal in the Champions League final. I'm saying that, but hold on.
We've got a
chat.
I would love to just
Chat needs to go.
Same.
This is zero analysis. This is zero analysis. This is zero like nothing.
I don't know where you get this from.
Straight up. This is just. I'm just
me
like
and Dean ain't on that.
I
I'll be
feel
honest.
it. I know, but like I'm
gonna go next to Dean right here. I'm gonna go
This
next to
is
Dean. I
this
got
is a
nothing to do with you
feeling.
guys.
Like what I'm saying right now has no business being said. But my feelings have been right a lot of the times this season. Like and I just feel like that's
Does your feeling have us beating them in the final or losing in the final?
yes, because Arteta cannot beat Arne Slot.
Run with
Arteta
that.
cannot beat Arne Slot.
Dean's excited all of a sudden.
I would
I
love
think.
that.
Listen.
That would be the high. I would sack him if that happens. I'm not sacking him.
It would negate it. Like if that happened and we went into the final with them and then we beat them, I wouldn't give a shit about the Premier League. I would say you can shove that little tin pot trophy up your butt. I'm the king of Europe. I don't care. I don't care. But I don't know. Again, guys, this is totally feeling. This is not analysis. This is not a real prediction. This is just what my sixth sense is telling me. I just like we all kind of felt that way last season against PSG. Even though we were flying, we all knew, PSG are a tough team. But yet, at every opportunity, PSG. I mean, listen, people talk about Alisson's performance. I'm like, brother, Alisson was just in the right position. Like they took the shots, and Alisson was where he was supposed to be. They just had some oomph on them. Yes, it was a good performance. Yes, he had a ton of saves. He made 2 where I was like, you shouldn't be making those.
That's like
Kvaratskhelia, and the other one. But listen, I think we could easily go there and draw. We could.
So you're saying we can go and win the Champions League this season? You're saying
I think if
this
I
is
think
just a pit in my stomach that
I think we can.
I think if Liverpool beat PSG, and this is all ifs, buts, and maybes at the end of the day, but if Liverpool do beat PSG, I think the players will believe they can win the Champions League.
Yeah, if we beat them, we can beat it. Like at that point, they're gonna know, like, okay, we can beat anyone. This is the team that won last year. Like, because a lot of the Liverpool players, Slot was saying, like, yo, they kind of felt as though if we went through PSG last year, it could have been us in the finals as well. That's how a lot of the players felt.
You think I'm afraid of Bayern? You think I'm afraid of Harry Kane? You think I'm afraid of the world's most serial loser, the guy who had to go to the Bundesliga to finally get a fucking trophy?
I'm
afraid of Harry Kane. I'm not afraid of Germany.
I don't know. Harry Kane is probably the best player in the world.
No, 100%. But the thing is that Harry Kane is always there. Harry Kane is always at the top. He's always at the fucking Iron Throne. The problem is that there's always a bigger, badder dude who kicks him off the throne and says, "You're a choker. Get the fuck out of here." Like I'm not going to prop up a Bundesliga title. I'm not going to do it. Like you were in England all this time, and not to mention I've already beat you in a Champions League final, and you ghosted. You weren't even a part of that final.
He was injured.
It will all be so funny when we lose to PSG 3-0 in the first leg.
That's
exactly what's going to happen.
That's very possible. But here's the thing. I have to say.
And then Mike is coming here. No, 1 second, you're a fraud. No, 1 second, you're a fraud. Mike will come here on the Friday after and go like, I told you about this manager. This manager can't do anything.
No, listen.
This manager
No, you can't.
Leave him in Paris. I don't care.
You cannot do this because I explicitly said this is not the analytical Mike Das. This is the gut feeling. And here's the thing: I've set myself up in a position to win-win. Because if we I look like an absolute genius. And if we don't lose the and if we lose in the Champions League, well, I've been Arne Slot out since October. So I've done what the round table cuckery that we released in January, right? Of Richard Hughes and Arne Slot.
We know that to do that.
Them all doing, whatever it was that they were doing underneath the table.
I mean, and the funny part is Richard Hughes himself is leaving as well. So why?
Yeah, I know. Thank God. Thank you.
Why did you do all that for then?
Exactly.
I think Liverpool going through is just a better story for the Champions League. Like the storylines are just better. Like with both of the teams on the other side. If it's Bayern, then it's us versus Luis Diaz. If it's Real, then it's us versus Trent. 3 heritage teams. Like. Basically,
this ain't a fairy story, man. I don't know what life you're living, bruv. PSG are going to punch us up at their pitch.
We'll see.
I agree with Dean. That's why I'm not saying
never. Never say never.
We'll see. I'm not so certain of
it. Where is this Mike Das coming from? Never say never.
What do you mean?
That's the stuff that Jamie says.
Oh
that's
my God.
Mike Das.
God. Okay, Hussam, just like objectively speaking, This season, does Arne Slot fucked us? Europe or the Premier League? The Premier League. I have explicitly said I do not want to. I don't want to face English sides. And guess what? We are now in a moment where I don't have to see an English side until the final. And a final is a final. That was like my biggest thing. I'm like, if we don't play anyone from England, I do rate us because we are so much better against teams that don't come from England. If Wrexham was playing us in the quarterfinal, I would be scared because Wrexham are from England. If any team in England was there, but it's not. Like Arne Slot has consistently against teams that are better than us on paper, in mind, in every way, shape, or form. He has shown up and he has performed because he doesn't underestimate his opponent. But Arne Slot fails in England because he underestimates everyone whose name isn't Man City or Arsenal. And this season, he underestimated Man City, but he's never underestimated Arsenal, which is, in my belief, the only team that he truly believes is better than Liverpool. You go to Real Madrid, didn't underestimate them. Went away to Marseille, tough ground. Didn't underestimate them. Inter Milan, didn't underestimate them. In fact, probably our most pragmatic performance of the season that was bailed out by a penalty towards the end of the game. Yeah. Like when
you're
he's
speaking facts, Mike. You're speaking facts.
When he's up against a team that's better than him,
Dean, don't get pulled in, Dean. Yeah?
I'm trying not to get pulled in, but I like what you're saying.
Yeah, we're staying away from this crime scene, yeah?
Here's the thing, though.
These four are part of it. Me and Dean ain't part of this.
If we lose to PSG, right, you know what Slot's going to say. Okay, we lost to PSG, but we went one round further than we did.
You know
we can cross that bridge when we get there. We can cross that bridge when we get there. We can cross.
And then he just signs for Ajax the day after. Funniest thing ever.
Listen. All I'm saying is right now, if we get back from this international break,
I don't see Mike so enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's so positive, isn't it? He's so positive.
Yeah.
Because I finally have something to fucking believe in. I'm like, I don't even celebrate goals anymore. This Galatasaray game was the last time I actually showed emotion for a goal. I was like, let's go, get in. But if you go to Manchester City and you beat them, you bet your fucking ass I'm taking something from that PSG game. If we beat Man City, we're not fucking losing in France. I didn't lose there last year. And you should have scored 6 goals, but you suck. And this year, you don't even have Donnarumma. So you don't have the fucking goalkeeper that I have. And if I beat City, I'm going to be feeling confident. And City are shit right now. City are dog shit. I mean, they just got knocked out by a Real Madrid with no Jude Bellingham, no Mbappe, no Rodrigo, no Alvaro Carreras, and 6 other players. And they got embarrassed too. They had Vinny calling them crybabies. The guy who literally boycotted the Ballon d'Or ceremony called you crybabies. Have some shame. Win that game, and I'm so confident that we can get something against PSG. Because
by the way, Newcastle went to PSG and got a draw. By the way, Marseille beat PSG this season already. We beaten Marseille. I'm not saying copium, but and Arnie's been waffling on about PSG all year long. Fuck me, I hope he's done his homework.
Oh no, PSG's woken up now.
All I'm saying is that if we win, I'm gonna clip this up. I'm gonna come right back and I'm gonna say I told us so.
Penalties.
Mike, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be clipped. I want to be wrong. But last year, PSG done the same thing. They were sleeping in the rounds. Now they're awake now. This is the problem.
No, absolutely. But if you play that second leg last year 10 times, we win 9 of them. We win 9 of them. Ousmane Dembele scored a shit goal. They barely. I mean, listen, extra time is whatever. But if we play that game 9 times out of 10, we're scoring 2-3 goals in regular time. We're not going to extra time.
But that was a chance missed. I don't think we'll get that chance again. Like that winning away from home at PSG 1-0 was crazy. And then going home, we think
they had
we can
4
do it.
XG that game as well.
Yeah,
Alisson was on a madness.
we still should have won the second. Guys, we hit the post.
I
There were 2
know.
goal line clearances. I'm just saying, I just got a feeling. I just feel it. I just feel that it's written in the stars. Liverpool versus Arsenal.
I'll say this just before I ask you guys about Hughes and Slot and stuff like this. Final topic of the day. But I just want to say one thing. The whole PSG thing. I think we have a chance of beating PSG. But the reason why I'm not going along with Mike's scenario is I think Bayern will absolutely slap us. I'll be honest with you. Like I have, I have a bit of hope against PSG. Like we have a 20%, 25% puncher's chance if everything goes our way. Alisson is saving. Mo, Ektike, Isak, whoever's scoring. Okay, we have a hope. Bayern Munich, if Olise, Diaz, Kane, and Musiala are running against us on a counter-attack, I think the chair underneath me will have sweat on it because that's how scared I will be. It will be a scary.
We won't give them counterattacks.
We will.
We won't. Yeah. Liverpool will go, and Liverpool will. Dude,
We'll set up
what
shop.
did we do? What have we done?
Am I in the Twilight Zone? I'm just going to say.
What have we done?
Jeremy
Again,
can't
guys,
save himself.
You gotta remember. There's two different Liverpools. There's Liverpool on the island of England, and there's Liverpool on the continent of Europe. These are two different things.
Yes.
Right? When we have gone to the continent of Europe, we have played pragmatic. We have played controlled. At times we have played with a back six. People forget we put 6 in the back line against Inter Milan. We doubled up at right back. We played with 2 right backs in the back line. Did it look pretty? No. Did we get saved at the end of the game with a Florian Wirtz penalty? Yes. But did we create more than Inter did? 100%. And could you do the same thing against Bayern Munich? Absolutely. Because the only time that I believe in this manager is when we're in a game that we're supposed to get fucking demolished by a team that's way better than us. Because for some reason, it's the only time that he shows up. It's the only time that he actually knows what to do. It's when I go and I play Bournemouth or I play Brentford and he thinks that he's hot shit and he knows better and that these players are all Superman. That's when I don't believe in it.
Mike,
But
you nearly got me. You nearly got me. But Inter Milan and Bayern Munich are completely different things here.
Yes.
I'm not saying that they aren't.
Bayern Munich have got, even if things ain't going right, all it takes is a second.
You guys are more right. Listen, probability-wise, you guys
I'll be
are
honest with you, Mike. No. Forget
chance.
probability.
You're
If
sitting
I
on-
played Emeka next to Van Dijk, they could have stopped Marcus Thuram. But stopping Kane, Olise, and these guys is different animal. Let's not forget. Let's be honest, yeah. Just quickly, out of curiosity, who here your ultimate target to replace Mo is Michael Olise? Who here is like your favorite player to replace Mo? Is Olise? If I could give you one choice of any right winger in the world, okay?
Go and read Brian Spacey's tweet tonight, by the way.
No, I'm saying you personally, your own opinions. Is Michael Olise the top dog for you to come in right wing?
I'll take Olise.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
Won't get him,
like
but
the
yeah,
fact that we're all comfortable with letting go of a player to get in Michael Olise shows you how much quality the guy has. I'm sorry, that's not the same as stopping Frimpong right wing back. Stopping Dumfries right wing back and stopping DeMarco left wing back and stopping Lautaro and Marcus Thuram. I'm sorry, that is just like you're talking. For me, Inter to Bayern is the same difference, with all due respect, as Wolves and like Man City. No exaggeration.
Okay, you guys are sitting on the 90%.
I get what you're saying.
You're 90% right. Like the facts favor you, Hussam. Dean, the facts favor you. You guys are sitting on the 90%. I'm just saying that for some reason, I feel like the 10% is the way that it's
I want to
going
be over there with you, Mike. I want to
be there with you. I just can't.
I want to be there.
Here's the thing. I don't need you to be. If this
As
is
a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I'll be there with you for PSG, no problem. I can believe. I can't believe for Bayern. I'm sorry, I just can't believe.
If we get through PSG, I don't give a shit who's in front of us. We're winning the championship.
I'm going to start believing. If we get through PSG, I'm going to start believing.
If we get through PSG, I don't give a fuck who we play. We are winning. We will beat Barcelona in the final. We will beat Arsenal. If we get through PSG, just the whole mentality factor of like all these players can say, I can finally stop fucking hearing about France from Arne Slot. That alone will win us a Champions League. Not to mention, guys, these players need something to rectify this season. Like this has been a waste of a year. This has been a waste of their career.
Mike, can I just like talk about the elephant in the room? You do realize, Mike, if we do win the Champions League, which you think we're going to win, only stays.
I know.
You're killing yourself here.
Listen, but hold on.
I'd never win the Champions League. I'd rather have that. Standards.
Guys. we have this little conflict here in America called the Civil War, right? And a very common practice during the Civil War is, someone would get shot and they'd say, I can't remove the bullet, so I'm going to have to cut off your leg. In this case, in order to live, I will cut off my leg. I will say, you know what? I get it. Take it off. Put the piece of leather, give me the little leather strip to bite down on, chop it off. And that leg would be Arnie Slot. I mean, secretly, I'll still be Arnie Slot out. I still won't like the guy. But to rectify this season, I will publicly shut up about Slot.
The reason why for me I would fully go Slot in is he would have to beat PSG, one of Bayern Madrid, and one of Barca Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous.
I'm saying this is my thing. Yeah, let's say someone right now. Let's say you're a Golden State Warriors fan. Let's say you're Steve Kerr out. You can't stand the guy, but then you go to the playoffs. You beat the Spurs. You beat the Suns, you beat the Rockets, and in the finals, you beat the Celtics. You're going to go okay.
Hold on. Sam,
we're talking about the elite of the elite that he has to beat.
We have a saying in American sports. When you never want to play the team that gets hot, right? Like in American sports, we do it differently, right? You have the end of the season, and then you have playoffs. We don't just end, and it's a accumulation of points. And a lot of times there's one team that wasn't that good during the season, but all of a sudden towards the end, they start cooking. And then you don't want to play that team in the playoffs. If Liverpool beat PSG, Liverpool become the team that you don't want to play because it doesn't matter how poor they've been. It doesn't matter anymore. They beat the boogeyman of last season. Now they have confidence, and this is all they have left to play for. You don't want to play that team. Bayern Munich are going to win the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich are fine. Barcelona are probably going to win La Liga. They're going to be fine. Arsenal are probably going to win the Premier League. They're going to be fine. Liverpool are the one that you don't want to play because they have nothing to lose and they're the hot team. I just think
another fun fact about Liverpool versus Bayern is Bayern's actually never knocked us out in the knockouts of the Champions League.
All right, we're all getting way too ahead of ourselves, man.
Jamie, man.
I said that this was just a feeling. All right, I said this was just a feeling. And
the only thing I will say, look, so we come back.
Wait, we're getting beat by Brighton,
guys. Yeah, we're coming back from. We're coming back from international break, and our first two games after international break is Man City in the FA Cup and PSG in the Champions League. Are we? I don't think we win both.
Yeah, we might draw.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be so honest. I have us losing against Man City for me.
Why?
I legit have zero.
I don't.
Hold on. If we lose to Man City, I don't think that means that we lose to PSG. But if we beat Man City, I think that means that we're
no. But you know why I say we lose to Man City? Because I think City will lose this Sunday, and I think you see everything you just said about us in the Champions League that becomes City with the FA Cup, because that's the only thing they have to fight for now. Yeah. So City at 110% beat us.
I think City wins this weekend.
Hopefully.
I think they
Fairs, and I'm open to change my mind depending on what we see at Wembley. But just before I ask you guys, just quickly, just show of hands, yeah? Just out of curiosity. Would you rather, if you would rather face Madrid instead of Bayern, hands up. Okay, so three of us would rather Madrid, three of us would rather Bayern. I think Madrid this season could be an easier game. Now, here's the more interesting question. Let's go with Mike's dream scenario. Hands up if you would rather face Barcelona than Arsenal.
I would.
Yeah, maybe. No, actually, Arteta's not beating Arnie Slot. Fuck that.
But
high line with Alexander Isak.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not.
I can't lose against Arsenal in the final. I cannot lose to Arsenal in the final. No way.
And just in case we were to lose, I don't want that on our resume. I just don't want that on our CV.
I'd rather lose now. I'd rather lose now than lose the final to Arsenal.
I can't have Arsenal winning their first ever Champions League by beating us in the final.
Yeah, on our head. I genuinely
talked about for years.
Give me the hardest game. Give me the hardest game. I need to batter. I need to put these bitches back in their place.
I would also love it.
I hate Arsenal.
Also, Mike Das on Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna be Mike Das on Sunday. Liverpool just lost to Brighton 3-0. Slaughter the Antichrist. This is why. This is what I call the chlamydia zone. You see this chlamydia zone in the middle? This is Mike Das on a Sunday.
Who's
in 2 days,
brother. That's
because me to believe. I mean, you don't believe.
That's because Britain and Europe are two different things. Like Britain Mike Das fan is different than European football Mike Das. Not to mention the final is in Istanbul. Is it not?
It's in Budapest.
My bad.
The whole of Hungary will be in the stadium supporting us.
Hey, I got 2 Hungarian players, home field advantage. I think so. Like, listen,
you gotta get there first.
I know that nothing that I'm saying right now is logical, but you know what? At this point in the season, I've been saying that I've accepted death for 3 months. I'm finally actually accepting it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna die anyway at the end of the season because we've got nothing. So I might as well go for something.
Speaking of that, I want to come to Jamie and ask him about Liverpool's just the slot and the thing. I still hate you a lot for that. Yeah, hold that. I knew you were still salty over 05. Every Milan fan that hates us is salty over 05.
Yeah, but they got their revenge.
Yeah, but no.
Doesn't matter one though.
No, you can say revenge all you want. Nothing will ever. They were 3-0 up against us.
Yeah.
And we
It's the biggest.
nothing is ever revenge.
No one remembers the revenge. No one remembers that game. No one talks about it.
He missed a goal from 1 yard. He had a worse miss than Cole Palmer versus Leeds.
It's the greatest club final I've ever seen.
Yeah, of course.
The greatest international. I think the greatest final I've ever seen is Argentina France in the World Cup. And then club final is that 05 final.
They need to bring back they need to bring back the old Pepe Reina rule. Like goalkeepers should be able to run 20 feet outside of the goal zone before they can dive. I think that it would do penalty shootouts a lot of good.
The Dudek rule.
Dudek. No, my bad. Dudek. Bro, the guy was.
You know what's funny about that, Mike Das? You know what's funny about that, Mike Das? Alisson would do that and still not be able to save a penalty.
Yeah, that is.
Here's the thing.
Arnie thing that lives in my head.
No.
Till this second is the Vitinha penalty. I'm not over the Vitinha penalty.
Mamadashvili will come in.
I legitimately believe if I put my father in net, he would have saved that. It is
he won't be in a penalty shootout again. Slot will not make that same mistake twice. I guarantee you. If we go into extra time and we have an extra sub, he's going to save it for.
He won't. You know he won't. You think Slot's going to take Alisson?
Alisson's only ever one penalty shootout. That was the FA Cup where Mason Mount basically just kicked it right at him.
I don't think.
Anyway, let me ask you guys. Let me start off with Jamie on this one, just quickly. I don't want to keep you guys for too long. Just the Slot Hughes stuff. Jamie, what do you make of this whole Slot going to Ajax, Hughes leaving the club? How do you feel about it, and do you think there's any truth behind it or not?
I think there's legs behind the Richard Hughes thing. I think there's that there. I don't think there's been any real conversations, but by the look of it, the couple of clubs in Saudi want Richard Hughes to be their sporting director. I think the big one today out of everything is Michael Edwards. Today with FSG putting a thing on this multi-club system now and saying it's done, we're going to leave it now, it's finished for us. We're going to just leave it and move on from it. Michael Edwards was brought to the football club to do that. FSG are looking at Michael Edwards now as a failure. So, Michael, and the thing is, everyone forgets this. Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, and Arnie Slot all have 1 year left on their deal after this season. So, if Richard Hughes was to sack Arne Slot, but he's only got a year left on his contract, it's going to be very hard for him to get a top quality manager to come to his football club when that manager might not know Richard Hughes is going to be his boss in a year's time. So that's difficult as well. FSG need to do something this summer. They need to get the boys in the room in the summer after the season's finished and figure out where we're going. I would give them all new contracts so we can move on and build, or sack them all. It's as simple as that. I am very not concerned, but I'm very interested in what's going to happen with Michael Edwards, because he purposely came back to Liverpool. He didn't come back to Liverpool. Everyone forgets this. He actually works for FSG. He's FSG CEO of football. And his job was to go and find a multi-club system, go and find a club out there to be to run. And he looks like he's failed at it because FSG put it in the past now. So what's he going to do? I think Tottenham apparently looking at Julian Ward as the sporting director as well. I think it's very interesting what Liverpool going to do this summer, because the only way Richard Hughes gets a new contract, if Michael Edwards gets a new contract, to give him the contract. You know, that's the weird thing. And the only way for Arnold Slot to get a contract is if Richard Hughes has got a contract to give him a contract. I think this is why Slot's not being sacked yet, because there's no point doing it if they're all going to leave in the summer.
Yeah.
I also think what's interesting is the media information that we get from Saudi Arabia is pretty good.
Yes.
That's the thing that worries me the most. It's actually pretty good. Like the Darwin Nunes.
That used to Saudi thing has legs, you guys. It's not a made up thing. Like K-Mac is spot on. It has legs.
It's confirmed. Fabrizio even confirmed it.
It's not like
it's real.
No. I mean, like, even from a Saudi perspective, it's a legitimate source. Like, it's not some random guy making it up. Like, K-Mac is spot on.
But the Richard Hughes thing, like, look, at the end of the day, like people keep on saying that he's a failure. He got Arnie Slot and he won the league with him. That's not a failure. That's a fucking brilliant success. And we all got number 20 off that. Like, this season has been a failure because of Arnie. Like, he was given some absolute bangers. Like, and a lot of them have actually banged this season. But it's all down to the manager. And he's got 1 year left on his contract. And like Jamie said, like, Michael Edwards only signed for FSG because he stipulated, I'm coming to Liverpool and I want to do a multi-club model. Like, that's what I want to do at Liverpool. This is going to be my legacy. And the fact that they've spent like 2 years looking at 25 different clubs, like, they wasted a lot of time and effort. And they almost paid, got like 30% of 20 or 30% of Monaco. That would have been brilliant. Like, that would have been a really good investment, Monaco. But they don't want to spend the money. They spent 135 million on Isaac. So 126 million on Isaac. They could have bought Getafe. They could have bought Bordeaux. Like, they could have bought these clubs with that money. But they've decided not to. So I think it's going to be really interesting because all three could go. Talk about a rebuild.
So you could easily...
my question becomes to all of you. So what was the point of the round table then?
Well, the round table was... The thing with the round table stuff, what we've got to remember, that is done by standard chartered. So it's a thing they got to do anyway. You know, standard chartered tell them they got to do.
No, but Jamie, you know the timing of that, the release of that, the way that they did that. I mean, it was like, get behind Slot
after the transfer window.
We know why they did that. We know.
No, I actually think it just fell at the wrong time. They probably had it in place for months. And it just
they could delay releasing it though.
Because we kept losing.
Yeah, that's the problem. It was. But I don't look. FSG have declined all Richard Hughes' clubs that he's gone for. Like Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards looked at Bordeaux, looked at Getafe and stuff like that. But you know, FSG didn't see them clubs making profit, especially the Spanish clubs, because of the way the Liga is with the way they dish out their prize money and stuff like that in the league. You know, they didn't. FSG didn't see Getafe as a profitable football club to make money off, so they declined it. And that is what Michael Edwards was brought for. That was his role in his job. That's why he came out and said the only reason he came back was to do that. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to be a sporting director. He doesn't want to be, you know, running day-to-day stuff at Liverpool Football Club. So I expect I wouldn't be shocked if he left. Look, if I'm Liverpool, Liverpool needs someone in house now to be sporting director next season if Richard Hughes leaves, so we can carry on the work and get the players in the summer that are already been lined up. You just give it to Julian Ward, who's already there.
Yeah, he's
You
good.
just get it to Julian Ward, who's already there. You give him the sporting director role. He's done it before. He knows the system. He knows how to run things. He'll have everything there that Richard Hughes has left behind if he does leave, and then you carry it on. But it's going to be an interesting summer, man, because we need players. Are all three big heads going to be here in the beginning of the next season? The thing is, Liverpool can't have Michael Edwards, Arne Slot, and Richard Hughes all on 1 year contracts, the last year of their contract, next season. Look what's happened to Glasner. Glasner had 1 year left in his deal at Crystal Palace, yeah? He went into this season on his last year of his deal, and it's gone fucking sideways, right? It feeds into the players. It feeds into the club. The players are going to be like, oh, Manchester's got 1 year left in his deal. He ain't signed a new contract yet. You know, it feeds in. You know, you need this sorted, man. It needs to be sorted at the end of the season.
I think Richard Hughes is going to go, and then Edwards is going to decide on the next manager, is what I think. But I do think it's a ticking time bomb in terms of when Edwards eventually stays or goes. I don't think he'll leave this summer. I'm pretty sure Hughes, just based on the news and everything coming out, I think he's probably going to go this summer. And then I generally think FSG might have bluffed Edwards, because even when the whole like multi-club ownership thing came out, I was like, I just don't see FSG as that sort of ownership group to really excel with that format. Like, they don't spend the money. They don't want to fork the money out. So to me, it never really made sense. So I'm not surprised that it's fallen through now. But where I agree is that I think they're gonna have to decide who's staying and who's going between the three. And I think ultimately Hughes is probably gonna see his way out. And then Edwards will probably stay for maybe another year or two. They'll probably bump his salary to kind of, persuade him to stay after this thing fell through. And then it'll be on Edwards to say, am I going to sign Slot? Am I going to sign Shabby or whoever else they're targeting? But that's ultimately how I think it's gonna shake out. But all three, I think if all three leave, and then you're talking about the iconic players that potentially might leave this summer as well, I think that's a little bit too much. That doesn't put us in a good position going into next year. So I think
Emeka just said the key thing as well. Let's all assume, yeah, all of us. Let's say, I'm just assuming for the sake of argument. Let's say all six of us are Slot out and Hughes out and Edwards out. Let's just assume 3 key figures leaving at the same time. That doesn't put us in a good position for next season, by the way. This makes our job for next season 100 times more difficult. And by the way, getting the manager is probably the easiest one out of the 3. Like that's the funniest bit. Like if you just hand the reins over to an Enrique, even to a Nagelsmann, even to, I don't even rate Nagelsmann that highly, but like Xabi Alonso, whatever, like you'll be still in an okay state from a managerial position. But now you've got to find the sporting director. I agree with K-Mac again. Say whatever you want to say about Richard Hughes. He got us the best summer of our lifetime. Fact. Ever. Convincing Wirtz, Isak, all these to join the club. And Michael Edwards is a well-known, intelligent person to have at the top at Liverpool Football Club. So now Liverpool are going to need a new CEO and a new sporting director and a new manager. So what Emeka said there is key. This doesn't actually put us in a good position for next season. This puts us in a bad position. And it might... And now wait, yeah? Let me add another layer. Mo leaves in the summer. 3, Curtis, McAllister, whatever.
Players leaving, right?
Like 4 or 5 players leaving in the summer. Are we looking at another season of another transition? That's the question.
This is completely true. This is what I've been talking about for weeks now. You know, everyone keeps just focusing on Slot. The 2 guys that run our club are on the same contract. I think FSG will probably want to keep Michael Edwards if they can, because they seem to love that guy, right? So if they're looking at it, I think they'll probably keep Michael Edwards. Now, the thing is, it's up to Edwards if he wants to stay, because if he can't do the job that he came in for, and FSG put that on the back burner now, they got to convince him to stay in some kind of capacity to do some kind of role at the football club. And I think they probably will. With Hughes might look at it like that. He might look at it like this, guys. He might go, came here on a 3-year contract. I've won the league title. and I gave them the greatest summer of transfers they've ever had as a future to go forward. I've gave people I gave Virgil a new contract. I gave Salah a new deal. I've just gave Gravenberch a new deal. You know, things are set up now. The setup's done. I've won a league. He can say, job done. I've done well, man. Now I'm going to go make my bag. You know, you can see that happening, can't you? You can really see that happening.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the manager, it's 50-50 what's going to happen.
The only thing I'll say on it is look, Arnie hasn't made the easy choices this season. Like, there's been so many, like, we've just literally spent an hour talking about the easy choices to win games. He's not made them. I think Edwards has got the easy choice now. Like, I really do. Like, he wanted Xabi Alonso in the first place, didn't get him. He's now sat there. Like, go and get him on a big contract. Richard Hughes can then maybe just put the Arnie Slot thing to bed and go, look, it hasn't worked out. You got a league, you move on, you'll go and get a good job, you'll go and manage Tottenham, whatever. And we can move on with Xabi Alonso, which was the plan in the first place. It was the plan in the first place. So we got a league. We had a down a slope, but we also got some Bayer Leverkusen players that Xavi. Like, so it's a case of I just think we can put this year behind us, like a lot of us want to, and then we can start again.
And then get a new CEO and a new sporting director and a new manager and 5 players to replace the ones that left. And then next season in December, we're going to get told we're in a rebuild again. And here we go.
No. Listen. There's a very important fact that we all have to remind ourselves here. The only reason why we find ourselves in this position is because we're being led by 3 fucking blind mice. I've got 3 blind mice at the head of this football club that are negligent, that have no foresight, that have no execution. Listen, Richard Hughes, good job. You got Florian Wirtz and you got Alexander Isak. But then you failed with the second part because you kept faith in Arnie Slot. Michael Edwards, good job. You've overseen, Richard Hughes being appointed to the club, but then you failed on the second part and you let Arnie Slot continue to slide us down a hill. Like, there are positives, but to me, the overwhelming negative is the negligence and the lack of foresight. Everything that has happened so far has felt so reactionary outside of the summer transfer window. But to be honest with you, Isak wanted to move, and we were the only ones who were willing to pay the money at the time. I think getting Florian Wirtz to come to Liverpool, that was masterclass. If we had gotten Gahey that fell apart at the last day, maybe that would have changed things. But you guys are the ones who held faith. You guys are the ones who said, no, things are just magically turning around. You guys are the one who allowed a guy to have a 25-point swing, stay at the football club. And I get it. You're going to say it's fine margins. You're going to say, well, 8 of those losses are because of the last minute. I'm like, well, again, I don't care that they're fine margins. You're not getting it over the line. Like, there's no trophy for almost. You don't, like, that doesn't exist in the real world. So I personally think Edwards is going to stay. Even if those clubs fell through, that doesn't mean that door is completely shut. I do think that Richard Hughes is, career-wise, it makes sense. You're not going to top that window. No one's ever going to top that. No one is going to top that window. So take your bag and run, especially if Saudi Arabia comes calling. Go for the check. Do not blame you. If I were you, I would probably do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, this is your job, and he doesn't owe us anything. He's an employee. If a guy comes with a much bigger check, I'm like, you got a family to feed, you got a life to preserve, and that you can make a shit ton of money over there. And as for the rest of them, Michael Edwards is the only one that really matters to me. If we don't win anything this season, there's no way that Slot stays. If we do win a Champions League, again, you never know. Like, if Liverpool are looking at Xabi Alonso and Xabi Alonso's like, yep, I'll do it. I don't know. Even if he wins the Champions League, I don't know. It's still a possibility. But I would find it crazy if all 3 left. That just wouldn't make any sense to me. And that doesn't seem like something that FSG would do, because now you're talking about the back room. Like, maybe FSG don't care as much about the pitch as we've cared for the last 10 years, and that's been our biggest criticism. They don't hunt trophies, but what they do hunt is business, and that's bad business. And they're not in the business of doing bad business. And I don't think that they're going to let their CEO, their sporting director, and their head coach walk. That's terrible business. That's a recipe to lose stock options. That's a recipe to lose money. And if there's anything we know about John W. Henry, he likes to make sure that his yacht is fueled up. He likes his extra pennies. So I don't think that that's going to happen. But I've lost a lot of favor for all three, because I just, in December, to look at Arne Slot and say you're still the guy, like, you have to be out of your fucking mind, or there needs to be something else at play here. And maybe there was, and that's the reason why I'm a fan. But we won't know that until someone writes a book about it in 3 years. And until then, I got to hold the opinion that I hold based off the information I have. But there's no shot we get all three go. No shot.
If Richard Hughes goes, we got to look at it. It's been a successful spurt he's had there, because you know what? Maybe only me, K-Mac, and Jamie, we've mostly seen 3 league titles in our life. Yeah, we mostly seen. I don't know about you, I know you're younger than us, so we've seen 3 league titles. Richards came in, brought a manager. He's won us a league title in his first season. So if him and the manager leaves, it's going to be a successful little period we've had, because we've won 3 league titles in 30, 40 years. Like the first season, he's won a league. Now, if we don't win nothing this season, I still think, all right, we've had our ups and downs this season, mostly downs, but it's still been a successful 2 years. He's been there. He's brought us the best transfer window we've had. He's brought us a league title. Now, it leaves us, I know it's not in the best position, but we still, if right manager, the right signings, get a proper DM, another centre-back, right winger, we're in good hands if we get the right manager now. So I wouldn't say it's all doom and gloom. I think Richard Hughes has done a good job. He's got the right manager in at the right time. It's just, it's time for him to go. If they both go, he can hold his head up and have no shame. No shame at all. He brought the manager in, kept faith in, and it's been successful. So we've got to look at things as hard facts. That's the hard facts about it. So, yeah, man, if he goes, well done to him.
I will say one more thing, though, that Mike mentioned about not letting Michael Edwards go. The thing about Michael Edwards, if you look at all of our transfers, there's a lot of them that Michael Edwards tried to get when he was the sporting director. I don't think he will give up on his next manager, because you know that Richard Hughes wanted Arne Slot, like that's his guy. Michael Edwards wanted Xabi Alonso, so I don't think we'll give up on him. I just don't, or a Honus or someone like that. But I don't think Michael Edwards would give up on the next manager.
The same. I don't think he will either. I think he'll get Alonso. Yeah. But we're going to be arguing about we should have got Alonso mid-season. But you know what? As long as he does the right thing, I'm happy.
It's gone so quiet.
Arnie has to win something. That's. I think that's just how it. Like based.
He's won something. He's won the league.
No, I mean this season to keep his job. I think he has to. I think that's how.
Yeah, of course. He has to win the Champions League, otherwise. Yeah. I don't think the FA Cup saves him. I don't think that saves him. I think when you review the season, honestly, what can you say about this season that keeps him on another job? Except from the money, the 703 million, whatever. What actually can they point to say, oh yeah, give him another year?
There's been no
we're the football. Where we are in football, we're not in the 80s no more, where you stick with a manager for 10 years, no matter what's going on. If you go one more year of this guy, they could put us 10 years back. We went 30 years back winning the league because we got the wrong appointments. So this can be where the money is in football right now. This can put us in the. Arsenal's got a young manager.
And then all of a sudden, and by the way, look, just to prove Dean's point, this time last year we were talking about winning number 20. Now we're hate watching Man United and Chelsea for 5th place. So everything Dean is saying is literally happening in front of our very own eyes. So let's not be in the similar position again next year. I just hope FSG, one thing I've given them credit for is they do make good decisions when it comes to hiring people and stuff like this. So I do hope that they hire the right people and we are in safe hands, because if you get these decisions wrong, Dean is spot on. You're going to regret it for a long time. But anyway, look, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Big up to every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us on Not Yet Another Stream. Every link to all my brothers' channels are any of you live after? Or no, you're live? No. Okay, so
I just did a show, broke it all down using Claude and AI. It's really, really interesting. First time I've ever done it. Go check it out.
Big up to you. K-Mac channel.
Just now.
About 2 hours ago. About 2.5 hours ago.
So K-Mac channel is in the description. That's where you can find K-Mac. Fam Zone TV is in the description. That's where you can find Dean. Emeka doesn't have a channel. You can find him exclusively here. Like and subscribe. Mike Das RFC is where you can find Mike. And of course, Jamie, you can find him at Liverpool Chats TV, where 1 week he'll be calling him grab and bitch, and the next week he'll be telling you he's the best midfielder at Liverpool. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure I had to get that dig in before we wrap up. And I will see you guys back tomorrow, inshallah, for this Brighton Liverpool game, where all of us will get a slap back to reality at the Ajax Stadium. 12:30 kickoff. I thought it was gonna be like 4:30, 5:30 for Mike. And he's gonna be up going like.
I'm probably not watching. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've already learned my lesson this season. I can't wait. 5:30. It's the last time I woke up for 5:30. We got spanked. You know, I think I'm doing everyone here a favor by not watching. And watch. If I don't watch, we're gonna win. If I don't watch, and if I watch, we're gonna draw. So maybe I just won't watch.
Yeah, maybe not watching is better for us all. So big up to you guys. Love you all, and
Too damn
we'll see
early,
you guys
bro.
tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out.
Too damn early.